Archpriest Sergiy Baranov. Ask the saints for the way to the kingdom of heaven. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Today, on Sunday's first Gospel reading, we heard the story about the blind people to whom the Lord restores their sight. There were a lot of people around them who saw this world, but these two people did not see anything. They saw complete darkness. And the vision of the other people was objective, but the vision of these blind people was subjective. Why do I say so? They did not see, and it seemed to them that there was nothing more, and nothing could be there, because they did not have the experience of vision. They were born blind, and people told them that there was light, that there was the beauty of nature, the vastness of those surroundings. It is one thing when you feel your surroundings at arm's length, tactily, and it is completely different when you see your surroundings with your sight, how great it is. So these two people were deprived of the ability to perceive all of that, and so they could say, "There is nothing, because I can't see any of those things. I don't have any objective experience of vision, and so there is nothing." But around them were a lot of people who could see, and they had enough common sense to trust the experience of the people who were in a different state, who had the ability to perceive this world through the sense of sight. They had enough common sense to trust those people who told them that there was something farther than arm's length, and that something was very beautiful, very rich. They had enough common sense to trust these people and believe in the objectivity of their sight, their existence with the ability to see. And that was already faith. Faith still not having its own experience, but faith through the trust in the experience of another who tells you that there is light. And you, maybe even if you were born blind. It is a different matter when a person had already seen something and lost their sight. But if you were born blind, you don't even have any associations to compare it with. What it looks like for you. It seems like something completely unreal. They say that there is something, but I don't have the experience of communication with this something, with light. But their faith begins with trust in the experience of others. And this faith is very ardent, very fervent, demands from God, "Lord, give us to see this something which we don't even have any idea about." The Lord restores their sight. Imagine what an event. Imagine what an event for the person who was born blind and who can't even imagine what it is. What delight they experienced at that moment when they received their sight. How richer did the world become, which had just been a dark world for them before, which they could only touch, smell, hear, listen. But they had never lived in this world in light, in vision. What excitement they suddenly experienced. What delight! And light becomes an objective reality for them. Saints share their experience of the spiritual world. They share with us, with those born blind, for those to whom this parallel world doesn't exist. We don't have any experience, and that is why it seems to us that there is nothing further than our sight. But saints, people of God, who revived their spiritual sight, they share with us. They tell us, there is something else that is further than you are able to see. And this something else is very far off and infinite. And this is also so beautiful that the things that you see are such trifles in comparison with what you could see if you regained your spiritual sight. And we, like these two blind ones, have to rely on them wisely, especially since the saints say it. The people whose moral state itself proves to us that they do not lie, that they are not insane, that these are not illusions, that they tell us about something indeed very, very objective. They tell us the truth because saints cannot lie. They tell us that there are also things you do not see. And thank God that some people, before they get their own experience of vision, rely on the experience of these highly moral personalities whom we call saints. We rely on their experience and the desire to look there. Beyond the horizon of our current capabilities appears in us. There appears such very kind, holy, pure curiosity, good curiosity. We also would like to have a look there. When a person does not have sight, he goes to the doctor, who works with it, and says with hope, he says with hope, look, maybe all is not yet lost. Maybe there is a chance to repair something. The doctor examines him carefully and says, yes, you are still not beyond the point of no return. We can try and do something with your sight, but your disease is very prolonged, lingering, and we will have to try very, very hard. And you will have to try to be consistent in following my prescriptions. And then, little by little, your optic nerve, spiritual optic nerve, will begin to revive. But it takes a long time, and it is painstaking. If you agree, we will work. In order to regain our spiritual sight, we come to the church as if to a hospital, and we willingly accept the prescriptions of the church which regulate our spiritual life, prayer life. And if we are patient, stable, consistent, something will begin to happen to us. Something that happened in the other gospel story with the blind man to whom the Lord restored his sight, not with one wave of his hand, but the Lord consciously did this. He made mud with saliva and earth, smeared the mud on his eyes. Can you see anything? I see people like trees. That is, he does not restore his sight immediately, but the Lord emphasizes consciously that time is needed and work is needed. I see people like trees. And now is better. And now, yes, it is opened. I can see. Sometimes, while going around an unfamiliar town, we ask a complete stranger for directions and rely on their experience. Where should we go? Take 2 rights, 1 left. And we rely on the words of a complete stranger. So, especially on the way to the kingdom of heaven, we have to rely on saints, the credibility of whom, for us, is just so great. The Venerable Father Sergius, where should I go? Over there, but only for a long time and consistently. Your shoes will be worn out. Maybe for a while you will crawl on your knees and scrape your knees. But you have to go, move, and you will certainly get there. The Venerable Father Sergius, thank you. I'll go then.